This is the Scottish Great Highland Bagpipe. There are actually many different types of bagpipes in existence from different cultures all around the world, but this is the one bagpipe that everyone thinks of when they hear the word bagpipe. The reason that is, it's become the most prominent bagpipes of all, possibly because of its great functionality and even its use in the world wars as well. But this bagpipe specifically, it differs from other bagpipes in that it only has one octave range. It's set in B-flat Mixolydian scale, and it's actually a little bit sharper than concert pitch, so playing with other instruments can present some difficulties. But the Scottish bagpipe, it's composed of course, the bag, which uses a reservoir of air to have constant air going through the reeds. We have the chanter, which is the fingering part of the instrument. This is where the melody is played. The blowpipe, where obviously you blow into the instrument. The bagpipe also has 3 drones. There's the bass drone, which produces a constant B-flat note that plays 2 octaves below the lowest melody note of the chanter. And we have 2 tenor drones, which play ideally an identical note 1 octave below the melody note of the chanter. So altogether, this instrument functions in a very unique way, and that has this constant drone going on in the background, which often is just a little bit off, creating some kind of dissonance, which actually produces some kind of a pleasurable sound, many people believe. But the bagpipe itself, the melody is something also that is very desirable for memorial services. It's seen as an instrument of ceremony. It's seen in parades, marching around. This is basically the function, the structure of the Scottish bagpipe. What's the difference between a bagpipe and a dying cat? Vibrato. So the actual original appearance of bagpipe as an instrument in history is something that's actually contested among historians and musicians. Some people believe that it's appeared as early as 1000 BC. They believe they found a sculpture of a bagpipe dating from that time. But a little bit more solid attestation we have in the 2nd century. There are records which indicate that perhaps Nero might have played some kind of a bagpipe, which also is not something totally certain. But what we do know is that clearly we have records of actually the European bagpipe appearing in the 14th century AD. So from that time, we do know that this bagpipe, something very similar to this form we see, did exist. And at that time, of course, it wasn't exactly the same. It was made often from animal skins as opposed to the modern synthetic bag. And as the years progressed, the bagpipe, it was used as an instrument of war because of its great potential in leading troops even more effectively than drums, in that it can also convey melody. So as an instrument of war, it also continued even into World War I and World War II. Is still being used in this way, to some extent even today as well. But in the modern world, the bagpipe, it's really being used more as an actual instrument, not as an individual with an individual functionality, but it's being used now combining with other instruments, even being able to incorporate it in rock bands. We're seeing it used with all sorts of music in all kinds of innovative ways.